Hi, my name is Dr. Melissa Carr, and I'm a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine in Vancouver, British Columbia. As a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine, I typically, with my patients, am doing acupuncture as my lead modality. I'm also doing sometimes cupping, another manual technique I'll talk about today, Chinese herbal formulas, nutrition, and lifestyle recommendations. Right now with COVID-19, the pandemic on, it is very challenging for many of you who are looking for management of your current health conditions and not being able to access the usual techniques and people, treatments that you would otherwise use to be able to manage and treat your symptoms and health issues. So what I thought I would do is create a video with some recommendations for some of the stuff you can do with the tools that you can use at home. I've already done a couple of videos with acupressure. Those do not need any tools other than your hands or perhaps a pen or pencil. I even showed one with a crochet needle used as a tool. But with some of these, you will need some of the tools. I can help you with that, so feel free to contact me if you'd like to know how to get those. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to talk today about cupping, about press needles, about ear seeds, and Moxie heat packs, and some things that you can wear, and taping, a few other different things. I'm just going to touch on some of them very fundamentally, but I'm going to cover today mostly with the cupping, and I'll expand further in future videos. So with cups, silicone cups, you end up getting a kit that looks like this. This one has 4 cups in it, and so the large one is pretty large. This one is used on large areas like the glutes or the back. The next size is a little bit smaller. This is one of my more common ones I'll use on the upper back, other areas of the back as well. Sometimes you can use it on shoulder, traps. There's a smaller one here and then a very small one. So you have to be able to have full contact with the skin in order to be able to allow this to have suction. So you'll have to figure out for yourself, if you get a kit, which cup is the appropriate size for the application you're using. So basically cupping, I like to think of it like a reverse massage. So the idea of a massage is you're pushing in on the tissue, and if you've got an area that's quite tender, for example, the upper traps here, you might apply pressure to the spot there to try to release it, get into the knot. With the cups, we're doing kind of the opposite. We're lifting the tissue up and pulling it, stretching it out. And in some cases, we'll do stationary cupping. Some cases, we'll apply some oil and move the cup around. There's flash cupping, and even I'll talk about some techniques, some very simple things that you can do if you have a kit at home. So the first one I'll show you is, because it's easy to demo here, it's a little tricky with the sizing on some of the cups. So I'm using the smallest cup here for me. Some people might be able to use a size up. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to apply pressure with 2 hands, or with the smaller cups you might be able to do it with just 1 hand. You're basically going to squish it so that you're pushing all the volume out of it, the air. So you put it where you want, and then you apply strong pressure to the center of it. And you have to make sure that your hair is out of the way if you're doing your neck or other areas. And you'll see there. So I've got the cup there. You can see even inside the little bit of flesh that's lifted up. This one's not going to stick super well on me, but I can do a little bit of moving cupping. I've already put some oil down, so it allows that for that. I'll show you the oil that I'm using as well. So this is a Chinese herbal sports oil. It does have some Chinese herbs in it, and it's an apricot oil base. So it allows, I already put on to the areas that I'm going to demo today. It allows for a little bit of treatment as well as the oil to be able to move them. You can use other oils as well. If you have a massage oil at home, you can even use kitchen oils as well. So you know, just be mindful. It's a bit messy sometimes. So, but you don't have to use, you can use some lotions as well, anything that allows for a glide. And in fact, in the kit that I've just shown you there, they talk about doing this in the shower as well. So using lathery soap, and then you can apply the cups and then move them around with using soap as your gliding mechanism. So I'll show you, I'm just going to take my sweater off so I can show the area for upper traps area here, and maybe a little upper back as well. So I've got the sort of medium-sized cup here. I might go to the smaller one, we'll see. But basically, again, you're going to move out any areas, anything that might be in the way. You press in the middle and you let go. So I got a little bit of suction with that one. I think I might use the smaller cup here. So this is the next size up. I'm going to apply to the area, push it down. Yeah, and then I see a little bit of suction there. Because I've put the oil, I can do movement with it. And if it releases, you just push it back on again. Okay, now I've got good suction on that one. Now, of course, as you move it, if you go over an area that you've pulled it up too much, you may find that it'll release and you'll have to reapply. This one has a pretty good hold. So when you have the cups on, areas, you might have seen videos of people with the cupping marks. I'm just going to put it up a little bit higher, right onto the acupuncture point that I like there. And you might have seen cupping marks. Cupping marks look like bruising, but it's not really a bruise. It's basically you're breaking some of the blood vessels at skin surface. It's not long-term harmful. It really strongly increases the circulation to the area. You can see I'm lifting up the tissue quite a bit there, and so that allows for stretch of that. And you want to leave them on. If you're leaving them stationary like this, you can do it for a few minutes, 5 minutes. I would say not more than 10. Mostly I stick around the 3 to 5 minutes. You can occasionally move it around a little bit if you want. So you're going to find the tight spot, leave it there. If you find that that's done pretty well, you can move it to a different spot. Now, some of the spots you may need a partner to be able to help you to do that if you don't have somebody who can help you with it. One of the things I did try with a cup, and I'm not sure this chair is going to be firm enough, but you can actually, I'm quite flexible, so I can reach areas on my back, but you can apply the cup with one hand, or just even using a wall or something to be able to get a little bit of pressure there. You can see I got a little bit with that one, so I was able to apply that. I would use a table or wall, in order to apply stronger pressure, so you can be able to get that on. So that's one good option for treatment. I'll show you, so I showed you, see, a little bit of cupping mark there. So that's fine, that'll last for a few hours, a few days. It'll eventually go away. And it actually feels really good to be able to release some areas of tension. Many of you who are working from home are finding that it's very stressful, and your setup may not be ideal, so you might end up having a lot of tension in the upper back, neck, and shoulders. So this is just a tool that you can use. Another tool that I'm recommending, ear seeds. So this is the example of a Swarovski crystal ear seed, a colored one, and then a plain one, silver one. So your ear, so this little model of a ear for acupuncture that we do on the ear. This is, you can use ear seeds. The seeds are quite inexpensive and they're easy to use. So the seeds basically look like, the plain ones look like this. This is actually a seed itself. They're called ear seeds, but sometimes they're not actually seeds. Sometimes they're little metal balls. These ones have little metal ball coated in 24 karat gold. So for people who are sensitive, that could be an option. I do find that these ones the little ball doesn't stay on as well as these ones. These ones are super sticky and really seem to stay on for a long time. They're also non-latex medical tape, so I find that these ones are really good for people who have skin sensitivities. So basically what you do is you find your whole body's represented on this ear. So you started off like fetal position upside down, and then before you were born, and so your head is at this end. We have the internal organs within. We have the spine that goes up here. So imagine a baby upside down fetal position, and you can picture where generally the organs, if you're looking for something to treat, you can picture generally where you might look for it. So for example, the internal organs here, see if you can see that. They're backwards for you perhaps, but lungs are down here. I believe that's stomach there. No. And so you can see some of the organs through there. I can send you a chart, digital, to be able to get an idea. I have found that online there are different charts for that are represented, but we do have some standardized ones. The most common point that is done, and the point that I've got here is called Shen Men. Spirit Gate is the name for that. Spirit Gate is for really calming the nervous system. So right now, many of us could use that. I've got, as you see, the two there, and I'll show you the press needles as well afterwards, where I've done another one that's for calming the nervous system. But if you choose this option, then you can ask me to send you some Swarovski ear crystals or the ear seeds. These are the ones that I use with the actual seed and the medical tape sticker. So that's another technique. A further one is the, I mentioned the press needles. So I've got a press needle on one here called Heart 7. Shen Men again, this is same name as this, same meaning, Spirit Gate. It is for calming the nervous system. And so those ones are little press needles. And so the press needles come in a few different sizes. I use the Pionex brand, and the orange ones are the ones that I use the most. They're 0.3 millimeters long, and they come in sheets, and they look like this. So basically what you do is you get your needle like this, and the thing is, don't be scared to use this on your own. The needles, this one at 0.3 millimeters long is really short. I also have 0.6 millimeters long. These are the yellow ones. And then 0.9 millimeters long, that's the green ones. So you choose the length based off of the area you're going to work on. So if I was working on the legs, I probably could easily use the 0.6. In some larger areas, the glutes easily 0.9. And on the lower limbs or perhaps a smaller person, I would probably stick with the 0.3. You can even apply these to your hands. I'll show a point on the hand here that you can do because it's an easy demo point for me. Keep in mind that if you're doing these press points on the hands, you're washing your hands a lot, so probably they won't stay on super long for that. But I put this on 3 days ago on my wrist, and I have been washing my hands a lot, just being mindful of this one to wash my hands, and at the wrist it's been able to stick on pretty well. The way that you open it, so you get it like this, and you'll see it's sort of like an egg shape. So the skinnier part of the egg you keep up, and you're just going to tear the paper from that top. Okay, so within here, what that does is that exposes the press needle there, and then you can fold that back. So it actually has a line there that you can fold back along. Okay, and now you'll see that that allows for you to be able to get the needle out on the sticker. So because of the way that they've designed it, I don't have to touch any part of the sticker or the needle itself. I'm actually only holding on to the backing here. And so the way that I apply it, I find the point that I want to apply to. In this case, I'm going to apply to large intestine 4, and that is on the back of the hand here. And so you put it on the spot, okay, And then from there, you can make sure, first of all, it's not pokey, it's not painful. So I can do anything to this one. There's no pain, there's no pokiness, it doesn't bother me at all. I can't feel it at all on there. So make sure that for you it's comfortable. If it is not, what you would do is just lift it up, reapply it. Again, because it's so short, this has not gone past the skin layer. If I were doing an acupuncture needle regular, I would toss that needle into a sharps bin for medical waste disposal and not reuse that needle, even on the same person. But for your purposes with the pressed needles, you can actually do that. Once you find the spot you want, you peel off the remaining backing to that sticker and you firm that sticker down. Now you have a pressed needle on there. You can choose to use it as an acupressure point if you want. So you can just use that and continue to apply pressure periodically through your day if you wish. Or you can just leave it, forget about it, don't have to do anything with it. And then I leave them on, I recommend leaving them on for 3 to 5 days if you're finding. A lot of people find that by day 3, 4, that the effect of it has started to wear down, maybe to nothing at all, no benefit. At that point, you can peel it off. I recommend taking it off within a week's time. Beyond a week, I don't really know that it's giving you benefit any further. And then when you want to peel it off, you just lift up on the end of the sticker, pull it off, throw it in the garbage. Throw it out like a Band-Aid. It didn't go past the skin layer, so you're okay to toss it in a regular garbage. You might find that it disappears at some point. You've put it on, you're like, oh, I thought I put a point on there. Maybe it's caught up in your bed sheets, or it's been washed off in the shower, or in this case of this one, perhaps when I'm washing my hands. This one probably won't last me very long today. But that is a way that you can do the press needles at home. Again, that's something that I can send to you, so feel free to let me know. I typically send a sheet of the orange ones and a sheet of the yellow ones, and with some instructions on what sort of points you might consider, and help on that. Some really other simple tools that you can use. Moxa heat packs. So the Moxie heat packs are, moxa, some of you have had an herb burnt in a stick, and they move it over the area that they've got an acupuncture needle or there's an acupuncture point, and it creates smoke and a smell. It's a very effective therapy, but not suitable for everybody. This is a Moxie heat pack. So what you do is you open this plastic bag up, and then you would shake it vigorously in order to be able to activate it. So have you ever used those little things that you put in your gloves or mittens to be able to warm up your hands? It's very similar to that. The shaking of it, the vigorous sort of shaking will help to activate the heat mechanism within that, the chemicals within it, and it will warm up. Be mindful, it gets way warmer than you think it's going to get. So I do recommend, if you're going to apply it, for women, for example, I find that it's helpful applying it to the lower abdomen during with menstrual cramps. It can be helpful on low back pain. It can be helpful upper back pain, areas that could use some heat to get some relief. But I do recommend having a layer of cloth or clothing in between that and your skin. And then check it periodically to make sure that you're not burning your skin. It really does get warmer than you think. These are disposable, but they do last for about 12 hours. And if you find that it's you don't want it the whole time, you don't want to be using it on you the whole time, you can close it up in a plastic bag, seal it up, leave it, come back to it. It'll probably last for another day or so. You come back to it, shake it up again. You may be able to reactivate it and apply it again. So that's just a handy sort of heat pad that you can use, that you don't need to continuously reheat. You don't need to be plugged in anywhere. It is really very simple to use. I also use, for myself, I started trying out some, so if you've ever had the TDP lamp, the heat lamp on you when you're in clinic with a TCM practitioner, that increases the infrared wavelengths. It's an infrared energy that penetrates deeper. So a heat lamp in that format will not just warm up your skin, but will warm up deeper down. And that allows for an increase of circulation, which helps to relax muscles, improves blood flow for activating some more potential for your body to heal an area. Of course, that's something that's used in clinic, but tricky to use at home. So I actually got some, these have a mineral in them, germanium, that is infused within the material. And so this uses my body's own heat to be able to reflect in and increase circulation. So this Incrediwear, I'm using fingerless gloves. So if you've got Raynaud's, if you've got poor circulation to your hands, you've got arthritic hand pain, that could be suitable. So you can even, because of the fingerless component, you can even be typing with them on, and they're quite comfortable and they're not compression. I also, because I had torn my meniscus a year ago on my knee, I'm using the knee brace as well, so same sort of thing. And then even they have ankle sleeves. I have a few of these if you need them. So feel free to get in contact with me. You can find them information about those online as well. I hope you're doing well. If you have any questions, you need anything from me, please feel free to reach out. I am in Vancouver, BC, as a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine. I am doing consults online. The stuff, if there's anything for shipping, it's only within Canada that I'm going to be doing the shipping. But I'm happy to answer your questions if you have any. Any further video topics you'd like me to do, feel free to let me know. Thank you so much. Bye.